Hi there, welcome back to part 3 of creating a greeting card keepsake journal from an old book cover, but it still will be the same functionality as this one that I originally made using 2 book covers and putting in just a chipboard spine, similar to the method of a little golden book junk journal, and then with the eyelets, just like how you would make a no-sew journal. So, but this time I wanted to use the whole old book. So it's from the 1940s, and it's all about the history of dogs and then the different breeds. And it's a gift for my husband, who likes to save gift cards. If you've missed parts 1 and 2, there will be links down below, and you could go back or just pick up here where we are. He's not attached yet, little Lord Fauntleroy there. But what I've done is basically fortified the old spine using, it's not as thin. I wish I knew weights. I wish I knew paper and cardstock weight. I don't. I only know the difference between paper, file folders, and chipboard. And what I put in here, I use found paper from, if you get the mail or that. I hang onto cereal boxes, the things all of us junk journalers do. So I fortified this spine with, it's not as thin as a file folder cardstock, but it's not as thick and heavy as chipboard. It's in between there. I think it was the back of a puzzle box, or it might have also been the back of a pad of paper. Actually, yeah, I think it was the back of a pad of paper because someone had done some math calculating on it. And so I bet it was a pad of paper. I just, again, quick recap, I purposefully made it a square flat spine, even though if this were going to be a regular journal, I would want a curved spine. I think they look prettier. But in this case, I want it flat because we're going to be putting in strings, eyelets and strings to hold cards. So there's the quick catch up in 3 minutes. And I'm happy with how the fortification of the spine looks on the inside. I think the fabric matches. These are the original papers inside, and I like them. So I'm leaving them as they are. And in this case, I put a picture. Apparently these are setters, and so I used my crocodile, not my crocodile, my oh my goodness, I forget what it's called. I used a die cut and then put it through the thingamajiggy with the crank wheel. There we go. It'll come to me later when I least expect it. I'll be having lunch and it'll come to me. So I thought, let's put that on the spine. Even though there are going to be strings over top, I think it will still add to how pretty the spine looks if it's going to be stored upright. And then here we had decided on this picture. I trimmed it down because it was quite a bit bigger. There were people on either side, but I wanted this young boy and his mastiff. And I put it onto more of that board. Yeah, see, there we go. There's the mathematics. So I put it on the board. When we last got together, I said that I was going to sand this off camera because apparently that the sound of a sanding block on paper is like fingernails on a chalkboard to some viewers, and I did not know that. And here I've been torturing some of my viewers for quite a while now because I love my sanding block and I use it a lot. So he's all ready to go. I think I do want a little bit of gold along this edge because of the gold here. So why not? I'm going to move the book out of the way, and then I've got to decide. There's a lot of ways to put gold on the edge of cards. For example, this would be an excellent base for a carte de visite. So you have options when you want to put gold on the edge. You can use gilding wax, or you can use a gold ink pad. I apologize for shadows. It's an extremely gloomy day outside today, and I need my lights going. So I've wrapped my lamps with a muter. It's fabric, and to mute it, but I've still got muted shadows. Or else, hold on, I'm going to go grab my our third option is a gold marker. Okay, so I'm going to opt for an 18 karat gold pen. These are really handy. They're not cheap. It will last you a long time though. Krylon makes them. I happen to luck into these, and I'll never know why, but I always stick my nose in the craft section of my local Walmart, and there they were hanging on the rack, and they had a clearance tag on them of $5. So I grabbed both of them. There were only two left, and for $5 I grabbed them both. I'm just getting some paper, and they'll last you a long time. They're oil-based. They're like a can of aerosol paint. There's a ball in there that mixes it together. So shake your, if you opt for one of these Krylon, a gold leafing pen, shake it thoroughly because it's oil-based and you want the paint well mixed with the oil. Now I have one this one the nib has taken much more of a beating than the other, and I want to keep the one that's sharp. I want to keep it sharp, and I don't need a sharp one for this project. So, and then you sort of pump it to make sure you've got the ink down in there, and see, it's not quite there yet. So, and you make sure you do this in a safe area, because when it decides to come out, it can blob out and make a horrible mess. So I wonder if this is finally, it's finally drying up. This is really, I've had it a few years now. And like I said, this one let's see, it may be time to bid that fellow adieu. Yeah, see, that he's had it. Now I think this one needs a bit more shaking. I can still see some of the oil that's a little bit separate. I'm going to pause and shake. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Yep. All right, so let's just go around the edge, just very gently. I'm not going to worry too much if a little bit of it blurps out on the front. It'll add to the character. Let's bring you down a bit. There we go. Hope you're doing well. Like I said, miserable weather here where I am. Could have used a lot of this rain last summer, that's for sure. if I had used the gold wax, for me, it gives a different effect, and sometimes it's preferable. For me, I have a hard time getting gilding wax to be precise. I usually end up smudging it onto the top of whatever I'm framing with gold. And sometimes I want that. I want that sort of hazy gold glow around the edge. I would prefer not to have that this time, but if I needed to, I would. It's not that important. This is, for me, because of who is receiving this, I'm mostly being fussy for my own sanity. My sweetie pie, he would love it if it was just the plain book and I didn't do anything to it. So I'm doing things to it. I mean, of course, out of love. You know, if you're going to give a gift, do a job and give a gift, you know, put your whole heart into it. But I'm also doing it like most of us who are here because it's fun. And it's nice to push yourself. I still feel like sometimes you have to pump it again. And there we go. To get some fresh paint back down there. There we go. All right, now it dries quite quickly, but still be careful for a moment and let it finish drying. So this is the old one. I'm actually going to label this the old one, and mind you, it's got the mucky nib. I'm not ready to toss it. I'm not ready to do that yet. Let's do this while we wait for that to dry. Old. There we go. All right, all done. So let's see. I'm just making sure because I'm going to be putting some gel medium on it to glue it onto the cover. So let's flip that over. Gel medium. I didn't put my plastic back on there yesterday. There we go. So this is just lovely and thick, and you'll get a good hold with gel medium, and a jar really will last you a long time. I mean, if you're like me. And there's just different glues that are better for different things. Now, that said, I certainly could easily use 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac. Probably could get away with our glitter glue. But I really want this to hold well, especially because I didn't use my tried and true securing it with brads, which I often will do. First of all, it looks pretty, adding a little touch of, a little pop of color, of metal onto a plate. But I just want to make sure that this is secure. So this is the one I'm going with. There we go. Let's close that up. I'm going to eyeball this. I'm going to stand up and eyeball it. Oh, he looks lovely. I have to move it over a little bit. I hope you can still see this. Oh, see, there's some that has got over the edge. I'm going to take that off. plop it lightly and then see if it looks even to me. And it does. Awesome. All right, so this is going to be one of those times where it feels like a moment to you, but it feels like half an hour to me. I'm going to pause, putting some weight on it. Pause, let that get a good application, and then we'll get together and do the eyelets, which is quick and easy. Okay, so it's been a little bit. I tidied up a bit, and now it is time to put eyelets in. I've opted to go with, I don't know whether they call this oiled brass, this color. I love the gold on this, but my gold eyelets are way too bright and brand new looking. So I think this is the better option. There's that little bit of brassy gold that looks aged, and I think it will look nice on this spine. So I've got those. I had got them out earlier, and I was hoping to be able to put 8 on here. I think I'm going to stick with 6. And we'll be fine with 6. I'm going to use my ruler that has a center 0 on it so that I can eyeball. Let's move this up so that you can see where I'm eyeballing. So that I can eyeball the center. And I'm going to use the ends of where that the card lining that I put in, where it is. That's these 2 lines here. So I'm going to aim to have them centered there and there. And then your eyelets, if you've done it the way I have, I left a little bit of room at the bottom and top. My card isn't the full height. I wanted the head and the foot to still have a little bit of give there. So I want to make sure that I have full room, that the hole that I punched for the eyelet is completely through cardstock and not punching through part of the cardstock and then part of just the fabric. So I want to make sure that it's up there with plenty of room. And there we go. Now here's where I really miss being able to put in a uneven eyelets, because then it would just be easy to find center and move out from the center. But instead, I have to put in 6 and hope. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. I wonder if it would be easier to work with this, because then I can see. Then I can see my 10 to 16 and a half. So I'm going to bring it to there. That's good. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no. Six and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I move it over a bit, 1, 2, and 1, 2, that works. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that works. But I can't see through this to make sure it's even. Nope. If it's even with the word Watson, then I should be good. It doesn't have to be that precise, but I like it to be. And I'm just going to put polka dots. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That looks good. Looks a little high up, so I may aim for my crocodile. To go a little bit lower. Mind you, where's the largest card that I have? Let's take it out. That will help me figure out. Oh, I can't. I have to. All right, let's see. All right, no, that'll still work. All right. Large side. So I don't know if you can see the polka dots that I've put on there, giving it little freckles. And then I'm going to look. Boy, that's a tight fit. I'm going to look for it through the viewfinder. And we're going to cross our fingers. You ready? One. Probably could have fit more in, but that's all right. So now I'm looking for the next polka dot. Hold on, I'm sorry. I need a light, and I can't see it through the phone. There we go. I could have put masking tape across the bottom. Let go. Thank you. So I'm going to keep going across the bottom like that, and I will meet you in a second. Okay, so holes are punched. I did the top as well. So now it's time to put our eyelets in. I suppose if you were going to make a smaller one, you could use smaller eyelets that won't necessarily hold as many threads. Oh, I guess I don't need to put them all in now. Let's see if I've got this set right. I do. Okay. Let's go in and just start chomping. Take that one out for now so I can check the back. All right, we're good. That looks nice. All right, I'm going to finish punching holes in, punching eyelets into the holes, and we'll get together on the next side, and then we are almost done because it's just time to put the cotton twine on it. All right, see you in a second. Okay, so we've got the eyelets in. I love how they turned out. I like the color choice, and they look really good. Oh, I forgot to point out, in this painting of the setters, they're looking up, and it's too bad I couldn't have put him up there, but he would have just been distracting from our little prince with his mastiff. But there was a little pheasant or quail, not sure. It's a short tail, so maybe it's a quail. anyhow, it was flying up in the sky, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to just tuck him down there, because they do hide in the grass before they fly up into the air. So maybe this one is still hiding in the grass. All right, so now we need to make our loops, our multiple loops, the strands that hold the cards in place. Let's so as you can see here, the strand just goes right in the center there, just like with an Oh-So journal, and it holds all these books into place. There we go. So we got to do this next, and that's the easy part. Now you can use, I suspect you can use any kind of thin, strong cording type material. If you used butcher twine, you would only be able to fit maybe 3 through the hole. So depending on the look you're going for and how wide your book is, you know, that's an option. You could use, like I said previously before, waxed hemp would probably be nice and strong. However, waxed hemp is quite expensive, and I would suggest you save that for your for sewing your signatures into books. What I like to use is either the cotton crochet floss. Let me grab a ball. I can't find my other balls, so I'll show you this one. I use this one actually as a pin cushion. Find it easier because if I drop a pin, it just falls inside the tin, and it's huge. It's this stuff. They're always at thrift stores, always. And this one just happened to come about out of convenience when I was sewing masks during the beginning of COVID, when there wasn't enough disposable masks to go around. And I needed something that held pins really fast, because I was literally making masks, and they were all strung together with threads, and then I was pulling out needles as they would go through the machine, and I needed to be able to just jam in, and this worked out well. And I'm always very careful with pins in my art room, because there's always a little dog in the room, and dropping a pin on the floor, you know what, those pins can stab me all they want, but I couldn't sleep at night if my dog got hurt by a pin that was on the floor. So here's, if you don't use the cotton floss, which I'm not going to use today, I'm going to use this. I find it in the embroidery floss section at Michael's. I don't know what it's for. I'm not an embroiderer. So my mother was a beautiful embroiderer, but I like it. It's a little heavier than embroidery floss because it's twisted. I think it looks a little prettier. The little detail on it looks very pretty. I like it for putting on tags, you know, when you're doing like a shipping style tag and you want to be able to put a loop through it. And as you can see here in my little bin, I've got all kinds of colors of it. Toilet paper rolls make great holders for it. And so I'm going to decide which shade of gold, because I'm not going to get into one that I haven't unraveled yet. And we shall decide which color we're going to use. I think this one we can eliminate. It's too light. It's either the dark or the light one. I like this light one. Do I have enough? Let's see. I have a few different shades. You're not it. Oh, I think I found it. Nope, that's regular embroidery floss. I don't want regular. I like this twisted. So it looks like that's all I have. So I guess I have to go with this one because I cleaned out again, I was at Michael's one day on sale. It was on sale, and I cleaned it out. There's two different shades here. 729, 783 is a slightly different shade. What one's this? 729. And does that look? Yeah, that's 7. No, that might be this one. That might be the 783. Oh, rats, I can't tell. I want that 729, and I'm not sure that that's... Where did I put my card? I think it's in between. All right, I'm going to unravel this. So hold on. Okay, all done. Now I'm going to be proactive, and I'm going to write 729 on it, so I know what shade this is. I remember. So the next part is very easy. Simply, I'm going to go for 6 loops per pair of eyelets, and then I'm going to need room so that I can pull it taut and trim the knots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's got to be doubled. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'm giving myself a little bit more so that I can tie a hole, or tie a knot at the end. So this part will often go easier if you've got tiny little pin. Do I have any tiny ones here? I do. So that will fit through. Nope, that one won't fit. It usually will go better. Do I have a needle with a big enough? There we go. There we go. So I'm going to go through and through. And I'm pulling it. Might as well get it through now. I actually want this on the other side. I should have started on the other side. I want to tie my knot on the inside, so it'll be inside one of the cards eventually. So there we go. And I might tape that down. There we go. And then I'm going to give myself 6 loops. I feel like I've over measured, but I guess we'll see, won't we? Haha, you're here for the ride, and have a good chuckle if I've... Oh, jeepers. Sorry. Hope I didn't bang your head. The joys of working with a phone hanging over your desk. So through, keep that loose so you don't end up with a tangled knot, which I've done. I've obviously given myself too much, but I will use it for other things, especially with Christmas coming up. You know me and using gold at Christmas on tags. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. And 6. Yep, gave myself way too much. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. 6. So let's flip this over. I wasn't very precise when I made my original one that's over there. And some have 5 loops, some have 6. I think one has 4 loops. That'll get used, won't get wasted, but I'll be a little bit more careful. Then what I do is I just start tugging to make sure they're taut. And they slide pretty good. See that? That's good. That's what you're looking for. Just give it a good yank, and then you're just going to tie it in a knot. So I do my left over right and under, right over left and under. And then I do one more for good measure. Thinking back to my days as an Akela with my little cub pack. Akela, we'll dob. Remember that? Oh my goodness, they were cute. And then I just give it a little like that. That'll be inside a card somewhere, and it really won't matter, and that will hold 6 cards. So now I'm going to do the others, and we'll take a look when we're done. I'll see you in a second. There we go. Oh, for Pete's sake, my phone. Hold on. Yeah, it was my library saying a book that I requested from Interlibrary Loan is in. I'm so excited. So our little dog journal is good to go. So here's the old one. This one is bigger, can hold larger cards. Let me show you the spine, how it turned out. So yeah, the doggy's under there, but it's still, I think that looks really nice. I'm going to bring you down closer there. I think that looks really, really nice. And I wonder why my phone did that. Is it still? Okay, we're still recording. Oh my goodness, what a morning. So I love how this turned out. That looks so nice with the gold here. The title, you can still see it says The Book of the Dog. And when we go inside, there are all our cords. And I've just done just little knots because sooner or later, it's going to be on the inside of one of the cards that will be like a folio. So I'll show you what you can do. We just grab a thread, and we picked one with a knot, so it just goes in like that. Flip it over. Say you've got your next one that you want to put in. Grab a thread. It really doesn't matter which one. I just find that just put it in. And the next one, grab a thread and slide it in. Now, I hope you can put your imagination cap on, because before we end today, I want to give you one little suggestion. If you do have a card that is taller than your eyelets, you can still get it into one of these loops. What you would do, imagine this card is actually the full height of the book. Simply take your scissors and snip the top, snip the bottom, and then you should be able to still fit it through, and the cords will just simply fit in to the new little divot that you cut into the card top and bottom, which is what I did. Otherwise, I would have taken it out and shown you. This card here was too tall for those eyelets. This was such a big one. Did I give him this one? No, he gave me this one. Oh, and he did lots of artwork. So I had to cut it there. Do you see what I did? So the twine actually starts about a ½ inch down and ½ inch up from here, and then it fit. So so that's what you can do, and then you can just start putting in your cards, and if you want to, you can stagger them so that the presentation looks nice. And there we go. And then you can start collecting, if you're sentimental, collecting your cards for hold on, let's go back. Collecting your cards for whatever special occasion it is that you want to save the cards. So there we go. It took 3 episodes to get this done. I'm still pleased with how much time, because I certainly, except for, stringing these through off camera, I would say probably total 4 hours to make this book beginning to end. And you've got yourself a really nice gift for someone, the sentimental person who's in your life, who saves cards. And I don't see why you couldn't even fold over letters or notes to put them in so that you can slide it out and read it and enjoy it all over again. Now, I could still keep going. In this book, in my original one, I put pockets in case there was a little card that I hadn't had time yet to put into the book, and I put in a book plate for him, and I put metal corners on it. So you have lots of options. Wait, all right, I'm going to bare my soul here. He started when we first became a couple. He would always refer to us as the lovebirds. It actually happened the first time I came over to his house because we were dating, and he said, "Come on out onto the deck. I want you to see something." And there were 2 really nice rocking chairs on the back deck of his house. And he said, "I got us some chairs so we can sit out back." He says, "I call them the lovebird chairs." I told you he's sentimental, and he's going to be so mad if he finds out I've shared this. Anyhow, you know what? I hit the jackpot when that man landed in my life. So I'm sure you can tell. Anyhow, so I put some lovebirds on here because the book was for him as a gift. And now this one will be, and we can start over again. I'm going to let him put them in. I've got a Ziploc bag about this thick full of cards that need a new home, and that will keep him busy after he opens this. So again, thanks for joining me today. I hope that you'll say hi down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have other ideas to improve upon this, or what you might use it for if you're going to make one for someone in your life. I'd love to hear about it. So take care. Have a great rest of your day, and And we will get together soon. We are going to get started on this year's Dickens Christmas junk journal, and I got fun plans for it. I'm very excited. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.